And you'll see, and back to verse 24, which I started with you, chapter 19, verse 24. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So the Lord is raining brimstone and fire from the Lord. Again, we have two entities who are spoken of.
I was worried, how did you get on?
So, what I believe in, what you believe in, are totally different.
That's true, but I'm only using the Old Testament, upon which you said you relied, to show that you can't simply say, like, you see, you don't want to get mixed up too much with... I was only taking the Old Testament, and you must understand that Jews of today, rabbinic Jews, just to distinguish them from the Jews, because there are different groups of Jews, weren't there, in the time of Jesus? Obviously Pharisees, Sadducees, Essenes, the major groups. But hold on a minute, but today's Jews are not exactly the same as any of those Jews. So I call them rabbinic Jews, just to distinguish between them and today's Jews, because the Jews of today have the teachings of the rabbis in the Talmud and commentaries and so on. And those Jews post-Christ day, went down that Unitarian road. There's obviously another group of Jews that follows an exotic path, which have the 10 Sephirot and so on. But we won't go into all that. But you're following an idea of reading the New Testament as modern-day Jews, Orthodox Jews would, whereas in fact it's not that straightforward for Jews of the first century. Hence, Jesus is called a blasphemer by Caiaphas merely for saying that he's the Son of Man. That would not be blasphemy if you're saying the Son of Man is merely human. There'd be nothing wrong with it. It's because in the Old Testament you have numerous instances where God is shown not to be entirely unipersonal. And thus, identifying yourself with a figure who you're not given the title God to, can still be seen as giving yourself attributes of the deity. Would it not be strange, Victor, if the author of St. John's Gospel, who calls Jesus God, who has Jesus speaking in response to Thomas calling him God, you've believed, that's great, but better those who believe without seeing. And so Thomas calls him God. Beginning of St. John's Gospel calls him God. In Hebrews he's called God. St. Paul calls him God. The book of Revelation calls Jesus God. All these references, these are Jewish writings. First century Jews. It's just extremely odd culturally that you would have this utter departure from strict Unitarianism of Judaism, if really what Orthodox Jews would have you believe today was the case in the first century, that the Jews of Jesus' time were strict Unitarians, or how Muslims see it. But that doesn't matter because they're not historical, they came about in the 7th century. But the Jews of today can trace themselves back to the 1st century. It's just that they're trying to pull a fast one by saying today's rabbinic Judaism is identical in seeing God as Unitarian, when that isn't the case. And Jews have worked on that, not just Alan Siegel, I think he may be Jewish, but others.